Hey guys, and welcome back for episode number 2 of my brand new series, which is just what have I learned today. And in the last episode we talked a little bit about how difficult the first day of ladder can be. And in this particular episode I want to talk about not making too many huge adjustments, because when you play like 15 or 20 games in a day, it can be easy to find a ton of mistakes in your own gameplay that you want to try to fix. And if you try to fix them too fast, that's where you'll kind of run yourself into trouble. So for this particular video, what I've been working on is just on my own level is making sure my macro is pretty good and I kind of have enough units at the right times and that kind of stuff. Specifically when I'm playing my off races, because I am playing random right now, which are Zerg and Protoss, obviously. So the first few times I played Zerg, I died very early in the game because I just didn't have enough stuff, right? Now, there's a number of problems with my Zerg. My crew spread's not very good. My overall knowledge of the metagame is quite poor. Those are two huge things that are going to take a lot of time to fix. So it's important I just focus and narrow my focus on one thing, because I do make a number of mistakes, but I want to keep up on my, specifically my injects and my macro in this game. So if we take a look, you can see he does a run by here, which is a little vicious, and I also had my third cancelled, but if we take a look, my injects are a little bit better this game than they have been. That queen's 25 energy, that queen's 33. So there's a couple miss injects in there, but at 10 minutes into the game, that's not so bad. And all I do is, because he wasted his Hellion, is just make a big push, just a big roach attack. And it takes about 4 or 5 minutes to actually kill him off, but I am able to eventually get him. And you can see I trade out here for most of his SCVs. I use Lings to reinforce, and the reason I use Lings to reinforce, I'm actually going to lose a lot here, aren't I? Yeah, that was a, a big moment with that Widow Mine. But the reason you would use Lings to reinforce is because they're faster to come across the map than Roaches are, although I end up reinforcing with Roaches too. And again, you can see, you know, my Queens are not stockpiling that much energy back at home. They're a little bit, but it's not too bad. And that was kind of my key focus, was just making sure I had the my injects and my macro in good shape. So for those of you guys that are watching the video, make sure when you're going back and reviewing and you're looking at things to practice, you keep it you keep the scope very narrow. And in my case, it was just more of a straight up macro, getting comfortable with spending my money and you know, hitting my injects. And a similar thing with Protoss, just making sure I'm spending my money and executing what I'm trying to do to the best of my ability before I start to worry about things like creep spread. And getting extra queens to do that, because if I add too much, my overall gameplay is actually going to get worse. So for those of you that are watching this video, this is your take-home point. We're going to get more into specifics and specific things you can learn from games a little bit later on, but for right now, just focus on one small thing after every game. And you know, when you play a big session of 15 or 20 games, you really don't want to take very much home to learn and practice in the future. You want to kind of identify what your really big glaring weaknesses are and start to hit those. In my case right now, it's my production's not so great. My injects were piss poor earlier, and you can see now they're starting to become a problem again. And that's just what you want to keep focused on, and keep your head about yourself. Rather than looking and going, well, you know, this third's not saturated, I have no creep spread, you know, my upgrades are late, my tech is quite poor, maybe I should be going Mutalisk here. The gases are 2 and 3 intentionally, because I was stockpiling gas a little bit. This is supposed to be 2 and 3, but I guess it's 1 and 3. So rather than looking for tons of mistakes, all I'm looking for, you know, and supply blocks and stuff like that, all I'm looking for is just, you know, basic production, and I'm trying to get better at that to make sure I'm not leaving stuff all over the place. If I was trying to also work my creep spread, which is probably my biggest weakness as a Zerg, I would not be winning this game at all. And I eventually pushed through and do beat him. So for those of you that are watching, just remember, keep your focus very narrow, especially when you're looking at big things like, you know, overall production, like creep spread, like getting the right unit comp. Those are all huge things. You can't work on them all at once, just one thing at a time. And I'll see you guys next time.